Well, welcome everybody. I'm so happy that you all took time out of your super busy schedules to come and check out what we are so excited about with LifeVantage, the activation company. I am so honored that I have two really special guests tonight to share information about all of this. I have the infamous Dr. Wally Alasolo. Is that how you say that?
Olushala.
Awesome. What's that?
Olushala.
Alusala.
Yeah.
Alusala. That's really pretty. Dr. Wally has quite an extensive background and has really become a nutrition expert. He's retired now. And so he and Curleen, his beautiful wife, who is an RN, spend their days visiting stage 3 and 4 cancer patients and doing daily coaching and nutrition counseling, and that's his ministry, and that's just an unbelievable blessing. And I'm going to have Mary Severson from Rio, Wisconsin, start our presentation, and she is a certified Pegasus leadership specialist, an equine assisted learning expert, a PEMF complete practitioner, LED laser therapy certified, and a certified nutritional microscopist, and just a amazing, beautiful human being. And that has been with LifeVantage for quite a while. So, Mary, if you want to unmute yourself, and then I'll get our little slideshow rolling. All right. Take it away, Mary. She can't unmute herself.
Now, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Okay. So this is why we're all here tonight, and I'm just so excited. And just know that everybody who invited you to be here tonight truly, truly cares about you and wants you to hear this information, because it's information that everybody needs to know about. LifeVantage is the activation company. We are the only activation company. So a lot of this is about education. And teaching you why activation versus supplementation or other things that might be out there. And, supplementation's really been in the news as being dangerous. And there's a lot of truth to that. But activation is turning on your body's ability to heal itself the way that God intended. So what's happening? Our bodies are being bombarded daily. It's the foods that we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the things they spray on our farm fields around here, all of the things. And what are most people doing? They're grabbing for anything and everything and trying to feel better. So that's just, a lot of different things that are out there. And what do we mean when we say activate? It has been discovered that you can turn up or turn down or balance genes, processes in your body to create vibrant health, starting at the cellular level using specific blends of natural ingredients. So it's not just supplementation. It's not just throwing something at your system and hoping like a Band-Aid it sticks and does something. It's activating your systems to do what they're supposed to do. And why your DNA isn't your destiny. This one super excites me because, my DNA, my destiny was not very good. My family history, not very good. My husband's as well, with the heart disease in his family and stuff. And just knowing that we have the power to change your gene expression and how those genes are expressed. So just the things in your family that might be something that you're concerned about, that does not have to be your destiny. That does not have to be your outcome anymore. And the story behind Protandem and the theories of aging got started way back in 2009 is when we became a network marketing company. And the story behind Protandem and how it started is we're going to share an ABC primetime investigative report with you done by John Quinones. And if you know anything about those, they're trying to be negative and chase the American public out the back door. And we still share this as a very powerful tool because that didn't happen. So have a listen and we'll talk a little bit more.
Following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver. This is a pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. Following is an
Well,
So what is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is when you cut an apple in half and it turns brown, or like he talked about, the rusting of an engine. And oxidative stress, and why should you care, is because it's attached to all of these disease processes, over 200 different disease processes. And there's nobody else out there that is reducing that oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and up to 70% cumulatively. So you can see there on the wheel the free radical and oxidative stress and all of the different things that are represented there and more. So that's why. These are some of the major universities across the country that have picked up and done self-funded studies. So with the heart disease in my husband's family and all for generations of men dying between 45 and 47 with widowmaker heart attacks. And that being something, American Heart Association and the Journal of Medicine, that was a really important report for us to look at. The National Institute on Aging, just to touch on a few, did an 11-year study on anything that said that it dealt with aging, and our Nerve2 activator was the only thing that that added years to life. And then they studied us even more and said, why is that? Because we deal with the root cause of that. So here's just a list of more of that third-party validation. You can go to pubmed.gov and you can put Protandim in the search bar and pull up all of that peer-reviewed research, and no other supplement or natural product in the world has this kind of backing. So that's really, really important to know also. So I want to bring on my friend, Dr. Wally Osuol. He's got an MBBS and he's an MD. He's a general psychiatrist and a medical expert. And like Patty said, he's now retired and fully devoted to his ministry on nutrition and helping stage 3 and 4 cancer patients. And he's really going to get into this and share more about his story and why LifeVantage and why he's here. So Wally, take it away.
You got to unmute yourself, Dr. Wally.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Whoops.
Oops. Yeah,
Let me
just
go back to that one. Yeah.
yes, just a quick brief background. Yeah, so I've been doing nutrition now for 3 decades. Doing talks for the American Cancer Society, Kentucky branch for about a decade. I am now retired, and I do visit date. I do daily visits, seeing clients who are sick, primarily cancer patients, and we do seminars. I want to start off with an atom, because this is what is the human body? Everything around you, everything in the world is made of atoms of some sort. And the atom has the nucleus, which is positive, and then you have the electrons. You see the orbits that are circulate, that are the electrons in their orbits moving around. And as long as the right number of electrons are in their orbits, there's a balance. Okay, these atoms are very, very stable. Um, as soon as one of the electrons is lost, what happens is that that atom becomes unstable. It becomes so unstable, it has to rob neighboring atoms of their electrons. And if this is not controlled, it becomes a chain reaction. And eventually it unstabilizes the tissues and eventually the organs. Next slide, please. So the only way you can stabilize an electron is to supply electron. And that's the purpose of antioxidants. So the more antioxidants you have in your body, the easier it is for you to control these free radicals. We refer to these atoms that have lost an electron, we refer to them as free radicals. Um, if the free radical, if the electron is not replaced, a chain of reaction starts and the cell becomes unstable, then the tissues and eventually the organ becomes diseased. Next slide, please. So the formation of free radicals, some of which Mary already addressed, I mean, we're just constantly being bombarded with everything. Even emotional stress increases free radical formation. Pollution, so you can't get away from it. It is part of life. It is part of life. And so, but there has to be a balance. We all have free radicals in our bodies. However, should the body become overwhelmed with free radicals because there's not enough antioxidants to to supply electrons, then that body would eventually fail. So every cancer, every autoimmune disease, the aging process, wrinkles on our body, on our faces, diabetic complications, atherosclerosis in our hearts and our vascular system, and other chronic health diseases involves overwhelming amount of free radicals that ravages the body like wildfire. Next slide, please. So this is just a sort of an overview. I like to, I always, because the people that I talk to in the community are basically lay people, I like to always kind of break things down in very simple terms. So you have cellular stress as a result of whatever's going on in your life. It could be processed food, it could be smoking, it could be alcohol, whatever. Anytime you have cellular stress, NRF2 kicks in. However, there is a there's a KEAP1, which is a sort of a protein that that has to be neutralized. So under normal circumstances, if there's no cellular stress, assuming there's no cellular stress, KEAP1 will deactivate NRF2. But when there's oxidative stress, the KAP1 itself kind of breaks down and allows your body to utilize the NRF2. And NRF2, what it does, it targets certain genes within the nucleus of the cell. And in doing so, it activates antioxidant defenses, detoxification, and anti-inflammatory effects on your cells. And in doing so, the cells are protected. Now, all these years since I've been, doing my seminars and being a guest for the Cancer Society, you know, I've always told people we need more antioxidants. And what do I tell them? Eat more fruits, eat more vegetables. When I went to Utah, I went with my wife, not with the intention of getting involved. Because in my head, I said, my thinking is, it's just another supplement. This is not going to do me. I was just going. Fortunately, my son, who's also a physician, he came along because he was on vacation. Now, this is a boy who has always kind of tagged along with me since he was a little boy when I would go do talks at various organizations. So he listened. And so he's into nutrition as well. So he came, we both said, well, we just come, just come with mom, just to keep her company, that's all. Well, when I listened to the presentation, I bowed my head and I said, Lord, thank you. This is something I've never seen. I've never seen anything like this. This is unique. There's a difference between supplying. You can get some antioxidants from eating healthy. I'm an advocate for that. But this goes to the source. This actually activates the genes that are becoming dormant, which is what happens to us as we get older. We lose the ability to defend. Our genes get old. Let me have the next slide, please. So I'm gonna go over this slide in a second. When we're young, our body's ability to neutralize the free radicals is at its peak. But with age, there is a decline in this protective biochemical process. This now leaves the body open to various chronic illnesses, rapid aging, and shortening of our lifespan. So, after listening to all the presentation in Utah, I bought about $750 worth of products. I was excited. My son took his batch, I took my batch, we came, and 2 weeks later, I realized, I said to myself, as a person who suffers with rheumatoid arthritis, I'm not on medication. And the reason why is I use nutrition to deal with it. And the graph you're seeing here is my C-reactive protein, which is a way to measure inflammation in my body. I've been doing well, despite that you see around November 23rd of 2024. That's because I was sick with something. It was flu, COVID, something, but it shut it up. It came down. But in 8 years, my CRP has never been 1.15. That's the lowest it's been in 8 years. Now, somebody might say, well, is that possible within 2 weeks? Well, here's what I want to tell you about that. I was supposed to get my blood work every three months. As you can see, the blood work prior to that, I did on April 11, 25. So the 16th was an early. And the reason why I got that blood work earlier is because I was feeling so good. I said, could this be? Nothing, I didn't change anything else. I was living my life the normal way. The only thing I did was I did NRF2. So to make sure it wasn't just placebo, some kind of, I'm just thinking it dropped. It dropped to the lowest it's been in 8 years. And then my son called me. He said, Dad, I feel good. My focus is better. And so he and I were sharing all these positive things that we noticed since being on NRF2. And the other thing is my energy, I do a lot of weightlifting. I'm consistently able to lift more weights, and I it's just my sense of well-being. It's the best it's been in 8 years. So so I had to prove to myself that everything I heard in those conferences was true. And now, of course, I'm going to get another blood work in about another 2 months, and that's going to confirm it. But based on the way I feel, I'm expecting to see the results continuing to improve. Um, Let me say this. When a patient is bleeding, okay, those of us in healthcare, we know that it is essential for us to control the bleeding before we transfuse, or before we transfuse, otherwise it's just not going to work. It's the same thing with taking things like NRF2. There are certain factors within our control that increases the oxidative stress. So if you're not, if a client is not sleeping well, the insomnia needs to be addressed. Why? Lack of sleep will increase oxidative stress. Are you with me on that? So basic, and then if you're eating a lot of processed foods, guess what? Processed foods that they're high in hydrogenated transaminated oils, and what they do is, because all your cells in your body have a bilipid layer in which the receptors, the receptors is the key to the function of your cells. If if you're eating processed food, what you're doing is you are changing the configuration of your cell membrane and your nucleus membrane. And inside those membranes are your receptors. So what happens is when you're altering the configuration of those receptors, hence you're reducing the physiological responses of your cell, the tissues, including the production of antioxidants. So why did I get a good response within 2 weeks? I think it's because my lifestyle already supports the production of antioxidants. So another person will say, well, I've been taking NRF2 for 2 weeks. It's not helping me. If individuals aren't seeing the kind of results that one expects, it's not because it's not working. You can't be putting fire out in your home and have gasoline pouring in through the back door. It's not going to work. So there has to be some life changes. And because I already live a certain lifespan, live a certain lifestyle, it was easy for my body to have a quick and a very sharp response. So things like insomnia, eating processed food, they just, I encourage my clients to give some of those things up. Excessive stress. Stress increases oxidative stress. Okay? Lack of sleep, oxidative, emotional stress, physical stress. If you notice in the Olympics, when you look at long distance runners versus 100 meters runners, the long distance runners, they tend to look they look kind of scrunty and old, and that's because they stress their body so much that the amount of free radicals that their body's producing eventually leads to accelerated aging. Um, so also things like late night eating. When you eat late at night, you are basically violating your circadian rhythm. You are violating your biological clock. And so what happens is when you eat food late at night, during the night, there is a reduction of gastric function and gastric motility. So if you're eating late at night, your gut is trying to go to sleep. And so when you consume food late at night, you'll notice that you feel bloated. The reason why you feel bloated is because the food is not really digesting, the food is actually fermenting. There are two byproducts of fermentation: gas and acid. The gas makes you feel bloated, but the acid, the reason why I bring up the acid, which is the most important thing, the acid now leaches into your bloodstream. It throws off your body pH. That is oxidative stress right there. Acidity increases oxidative stress. The largest amount of acid that pours into the human body is coming from your gastric content. So people that eat late at night, you're eating pizza at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, you're eating that big steak. That steak is not being properly digested. It turns into acid. That acid now begins to corrode your inside. It throws off your body pH. We all know in medicine that the best range for your for the human cells to perform at their highest physiological capability is between 7.35 to 7.45. Now, if you're pouring acid into your system throughout the night, not only is that, from a, not only is the acid just eating away at your blood vessels, it's breaking down your skin so you age quicker. But worst of all, that acidity puts stress on your buffer system. And when your buffer system is stressed out and your whole body is stressed out without you even knowing it, what you're doing is you are increasing. There's a rapid production of, there's an accelerated production of free radicals. So for me, that's my explanation as to why I will have a quick response, because I understand it from years of teaching nutrition. So what do I do on a typical day? Okay, I get up in the morning, I get outside. It's sunny California. I got my shorts on, shirts off. I'm eating breakfast, high protein breakfast in the morning. Well, in the first thing, when I wake up, I make myself every day fresh lemon water. I drink that around 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock in the morning, I eat that big breakfast and I take my NRF2 and NRF1 as well, and my collagen, because I'm trying to stay young and pretty. Okay. So, um, so hydration is important. If you're poorly hydrated, all your body, all the physiological functions of your body is thrown off. You need to be hydrated. So I stay hydrated throughout the day. I eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Okay, the fruits and vegetables is to increase the antioxidants in my body. But the thing is, what I love about the NRF2 is that it takes my cells back to their functioning when I was a young boy. Okay, so just by me eating healthy and taking NRF2, I expect that's going to protect me against rapid aging and um and diseases. So I think the other thing I want to mention is that, you know, for years, for almost 3 decades, if you go back into all my presentations, whether it's the American Cancer Society, various groups, I have been screaming from the mountaintop that people needs to get rid of plastics and styrofoams. Plastics and styrofoams, they interfere with the normal physiological processes within the body. They turn things off. They are immunoendocrine disruptors. They mess you up. So there are going to be people that will say to us, NRF2 is not working for me. Well, then you need to take a history. I'm very blessed that, I can, when I prescribe NRF2 to my clients, one of my first thing is I do a mini seminar, educate them. An individual that I'm seeing right now with stage 4 cancer, he's no longer on medication, any kind of medication. My wife and I came in as a last resort. And fortunately, he lives about half an hour from us. So we're able to visit this individual and we educate, we give, I do this, I helped to design his meals and stuff. And already I think we're seeing something. We're seeing a change. First and foremost, the diarrhea stopped. His diarrhea has stopped. Okay. He's taking NRF2 every day. He's taking NRF1 also every day. And he's taking the collagen because he's lost so much weight. I want to rebuild him back using collagen. I'm trying to make sure that he has enough antioxidant. I mean, what is cancer? Cancer, if I want to describe cancer in one sentence, is a person who has cancer, a person whose body is just overwhelmed with free radicals. So at the end of the day, it's all about free radical. And the only way you can turn it off is you have to provide antioxidants. So this picture that you're seeing here is perfect. It's perfect. The firefighter turning on that hose. The antioxidants are the firefighters. The free radicals is the fire that's raging through our bodies. And it's going to make a difference as to how quickly you age, how, or, with the exception of getting hit by a car, but, what kind of disease we die from and what kind of quality of life. What my goal is not only longevity, but longevity with quality and to be able to still play with my grandkids when I'm 90, when I'm 100, by God's grace, and to live a life of free of pain and suffering. I mean, you can end up in a nursing home, and if a person ends up in a nursing home, it's just not a place to be. And so, yeah, so that's basically my presentation. So, what I hope to get more information. I'm a very strong believer that when you tell me something works, I'm just one of those people. All of my clients, whatever I recommend for my clients, is what I believe in it, and this is something um, I'm I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Um, and the message needs to go out to more people. If you are suffering with any health problem, um, chronic health issues, cancer, autoimmune disease, diabetes, you name it, um, I would say give this a try. You've got to try it. To not try, I mean, what does it cost? Just try it. Just try it. It will definitely complement your ability to fight off diseases. And so that's my take on it. So I'm hoping that in the next 3 to 6 months, I think with more blood work, I'm going to have solid proof to be able to really, really, and I'm seeing what's going on with my clients because if the stage 4 patients, they're not taking medication anymore because they've basically been sent home to die. So there's nothing, I'm not doing anything harmful. All I'm doing is I'm changing their lifestyle and I'm bringing something that I take myself that I figure is working for me. So with the hope of getting good results. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Wally. That was just incredible information that it was so good, so good, and from your heart. And yes, you were pretty much drug kicking and screaming to the conference, but you're such a good husband and you wanted to, like say, keep Curleen company. And you were shocked what you learned. But like you said, eating healthy is really important. I loved what you said about, if you're on fire and you're taking Nerf 2, but you're pouring gasoline in the back door, well, you're just going to spin your wheels. I love that. I've never heard that. But eating healthy alone is just not enough as we age and in today's environment. So that was incredible. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Mary. Oh, well, and all mammals have oxidative stress, so we've got our pet product. But Mary, if you want to unmute and then we'll keep going. Yeah, there's a lot of Amish people that have learned about this and they, give it to their cows. Their cows are their livelihood, horses, alpacas, lambs, llamas, pigs, you name it. Can you get unmuted, Mary? No? Okay.
Okay, now we got it.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, now she's muted again. Huh. We can't hear you. Let's see.
Now,
Yes.
now we got it. Okay.
Yes.
Like I said, Wally, I don't even know. That's a mic drop. I don't even know where to go from there. We are so blessed at Life Edge to have you here. But here is Washington State University's statement about us after they studied us. The NRF2 activation is potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. You guys, come on. And here at Life Edge, we activate a lot of different things. We activate cells, systems, brain, gut, tissues, immune system, skin and hair. We've got it all. So don't be afraid to dive into all of these and more information from the person who invited you here, because we've got a lot of different things that have the NRF2 activation in them. We activate weight loss. We can help your body make something that helps you with the weight loss. Yes, it worked for 2 years and now it's patent pending. Take it. It's a mind-body system to make your GLP-1 hormone. And now this has been studied to be a 200% production in your GLP-1 hormone in the 12-week amount of time. It's first to market natural product, scientifically shown to increase that GLP-1 hormone in your body. So you take it every day instead of stopping for a snack or going back for seconds. It's total transformation. 100% of the people who lost weight did not lose muscle. That's huge. Up to 5% total body fat percentage loss. That's really hard to do. So that's awesome. Up to 27% visceral fat loss. We've got the Renfo scale, and I can tell you these numbers are moving. It's pretty exciting. And I think I'm like at month 8 and down 10 pounds. But when you're not losing muscle, that looks different. So ladies, we don't focus on the scale. Just absolutely feeling incredible and super, super happy. It helps you feel fuller longer. It cuts your cravings. It quiets your food noise. And it's something until you experience it, it's hard to explain, but really have a healthy relationship now with food. And this system has a lot to do with that. So it helps maintain the blood sugars within a healthy level. So a lot of this is a repeat of what we've already a little bit talked about. It stimulates that release, though. My insulin level is what really changed on my blood work that my doctor was super, super excited about. So getting those blood tests done and getting those things done while you're on a system like this is really, really important. And those body inches and all of those different things, be doing that and be charting that. Again, increasing that GLP-1 hormone by 200% on average now. And then the gut-brain axis, healing that gut and that gut-brain connection is so powerful. I think we can just move on from this one.
Yeah.
And then here's just some different results. These are people that we know and their results. So you can have a look at those. And some of these people work out on a regular basis and are really, really considered themselves healthy and didn't have a lot to lose. And you can see the fat melting off of them. And that global market for the glucagon-like peptide, GLP-1 receptor agonist, and the value of that is supposed to be as high as 138 billion by 2031. So you guys, people are looking for this. So jump in, learn about this. It's a natural alternative to the pokes, if you will. Liquid collagen has really become one of my most favorite products in the line, and it paired with the NRF2 activator and qualifying for its own patent for its unexpected results. And I was one of those people who had huge unexpected results with that, with a heart valve situation. with kidneys damaged from rheumatic fever. And so pairing those together and the repair that those have had. So when you're looking at our collagen, it's the visible benefits of hair, skin, nails. So some of you take that blue powdered one, right? That's hair, skin, nails, and you're only getting like 30% absorption rate of what you're taking. Ours is a fish collagen peptide, and it supports the tissue and regeneration and repair, the bone regeneration and flexibility, that muscle mass and strength, that improving your gut health, the wound healing that happens, the joint flexibility, the immune response and antioxidants, that liver protection and function, the insulin sensitivity and the healthy blood pressure. Yeah, mine has been awesome. And the weight management. So it's the connective tissue. And there's connective tissue in everything, in your eyes, in your heart, and your spine, and your brain, and the repair of the connective tissue. So what's not in it, and this is true for a lot of our products, no added, for our products, I'm just gonna say, no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and soy-free. And here is an ultrasound. So you can see week 0, week 4, and week 8, and looking for that yellow and the collagen density filling in. So collagen is in every single tissue, like I said, and it turns off the gene that degrades as well. So that's good to know. And here's what we already talked about. Your powder is only a 10 to 30% absorption, and we are, in that 90% absorption rate. And then some results just being shared there. People like saying they have a chicken neck and now their chicken neck is gone and stuff like that. And then chicken legs, and you can see the before and afters. And we're kind of trying to rush through because we've taken up a lot of time. So get back to the person who invited you for more information. But these two have qualified for their own patent, and they're better together for the results. Take it. Axio to make brain messengers and energy, another favorite product in our family. We've got a little bit of an addiction problem in our pantry. You've got a life to live. Instead of reaching for those energy drinks, reach for the Axio. Clean formula, good ingredients. We can get you the list of all that. And another company was trying to talk to me because they've got powdered drinks. And I told her straight up, if you could show me your brain scans, your before and after brain scans, we can have a conversation. Never heard from her again. So this is kind of a funny, but we've got that. Before Protandim and Axio, this was a young man, and his spelling results before Protandim and Axio, and then 2 weeks after being on Protandim and Axio. And these are medical professionals, again, doing their own little studies to try to see if what we say is what we do. And every single time those have been positive. So here is the Dr. Fannin, top neurologist, brain mapping of an ADD teen. And what I can tell you is all of those red and blue marks are not supposed to be there. And then he retests him within a short period of time. It was less than 2 weeks, and sees all of these neurotransmitters and all of this misfiring just disappear. And he said 20 some years of doing brain scans, he's never seen this before. There's a whole video about it. If you want to see it, ask for it. Get activated with Axio, not just an energy drink. It's a nootropic support for focus. It's got L-theanine for concentration and memory retention, and it's energy without the crash.
Lemonade's my favorite flavor. That's why I threw that in.
For summer. Yeah. So do you want to take over here, Patty? You've got
Sure.
incredible
Sure.
stories
Yep.
yourself.
We're gonna just be done not too long, so hang in there, gang. But
Can I do a little intro on you, honey? Because nobody's done that, and I want to. Patty is so near and dear to my heart. Patty Connell from Bonita Springs, Florida. She graduated from the University of Iowa. She has her CPA. She's a former finance executive managing millions of dollars. She's built a successful independent insurance agency, and she's now helping others build a legacy and financial freedom through wellness. And she's absolutely incredible. We're blessed to have her.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about my story at the end. We're getting very close. But, once that ABC primetime aired, and then all those universities did their own research, when you go to pubmed.gov and type in Protandim and like 32 peer-reviewed published studies come up, LSU has done 4 studies on skin cancer, on melanoma, and they actually reached out to the company and said, hey, why don't you guys create like kind of like NRF2 for the skin. The skin is your body's largest organ. So the company had developed some super clean skin products. And, you know, as a woman over the years, my goodness, at those beauty counters in the department stores, I mean, you're giving up your kids' inheritance with the price of some of those creams, and they're absolutely toxic. But I didn't know any of this, you know, a while ago. So we have this amazing True Renew. All of our products are super clean. There's an app. We have a sunscreen that I love. I put it on my 2-year-old granddaughter all the time. And there's a free app out there. Well, it used to be free. Now you have to pay for some things, but it's very cheap. But it's called Think Dirty because the average woman, especially, puts hundreds and hundreds of toxins and chemicals on her face, her hair, and her body before she walks out the door. And so I'm becoming a lot more aware of that. And our products are all green and really inexpensive. The 4-set system is less than what I used to pay for one product. And I absolutely love it. And I have super sensitive skin. Almost everything bothers me. So, anyway, so, you know, we've got an amazing, amazing product line that's grown over the years. Everything has NRF2 ingredients. And so if you want to know, okay, well, yeah, this sounds amazing. You know, obviously, if you want to learn more, you have questions, get with who invited you. You can, most people want to be a customer, and that's free. We don't charge anything. Some companies charge to get like a better price. You can do retail, you can do a subscription, again, and no cost to get in, no cost to get out, no length of time commitment. You get a 10% discount, you earn rewards, or you can be a consultant. And you know, there's a $50 fee the whole year, but you're once a year, but you're getting 20% off the price of your products, and you have the ability to earn commissions. And then travel and perks is just amazing. I love our events, like-minded people. But you know, I'll tell you, 14 years ago, I was not looking for a side business, but I had fallen on very bad health, and in my early to mid 50s, came down with rheumatoid arthritis, and it was pretty bad. And I ended up on Humira and methotrexate and prednisone for flare-ups. And that was kind of my wake-up call. I didn't grow up in a healthy family. I had a lot of bad eating habits. My mother never cooked, God bless her. And she, you know, we were eating out constantly. So, you know, some processed foods. And so I went on the lookout for something that could help me not be on those biologics. And I was lucky enough to stumble into Protandim NRF2 in 2011. So in July, I'll have been with the company for 14 years. And so our products don't cure, treat, mitigate disease, but your body has natural healing pathways, and your good genes can be upregulated and your bad genes downregulated through activation. And I had such amazing results. You know, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to share this with people. I'd probably like to just earn a little bit of extra money and, you know, at least have my products covered a little bit. And so, you know, there is the business side, and I'm only going to take a minute or two on this, but there's a lot of people out there that have side gigs. Like, you know, the younger people love that. They're, you know, social entrepreneurship, and people are doing Airbnb with their homes, and they're driving Ubers and Lyfts, and, you know, doing all kinds of things to earn some extra money, like the gig economy. And you know, who endorses direct sales? Forbes magazine says it's the best kept secret. Warren Buffett actually bought a direct sales company. He bought Pampered Chef, I think back in 2011, and he changed nothing. He says it's the best investment he ever made. And of course, Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I graduated from the University of Iowa with a degree in accounting with high distinction. I was a good student. I worked hard, but nobody ever taught me in college or ever, the difference between trading your time for money, you show up, do something, you get paid, versus creating a leveraged income, a residual income, another stream of income. And it's really, really, really intriguing. And I started out with this with zero expectations of anything more than just getting my some Nerf 2 paid for. And, this is just the perfect meld. 14 years later, I run my business, which is a multi-million dollar sales per year business from my smartphone from all over the world. And I have teammates all over the world. We're in a lot of countries. But it's not a traditional business. I kind of had a traditional business, the insurance business, but you know, you get a replicated website, you don't carry inventory, you don't deal with shipping or money, nothing. The company handles everything. And so you ask yourself, well, can you really make money at this? Okay, it's network marketing, it's not net wish marketing. And I've been at it 14 years. And in October, I was executive consultant one for a really, really long time. And then when we launched GLP-1, I moved to executive consultant two. And the average commissions at that rank monthly commissions are over $20,000. Now, you know, you don't necessarily need that kind of money, but just think of what you can do with the charities that you're passionate about, and giving back and helping other people, or taking some of those dream trips you've always wanted to. So we're a publicly traded company, which was really important to me. Transparency. Erin Brockovich is a 5-year board member, and Erin Brockovich does her homework. She took down Pacific Gas and Electric, in that movie. Julia Roberts played her, true story. So, a lot of people, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's like Dr. Wally said in Mary, we're educating people. This is different. We have activation. I've never seen anybody else with activation, and certainly not with this kind of science. So it is real. I mean, if you wanted to retire and replace your full-time income in 2 to 5 years, is absolutely doable. Absolutely doable. And it's not complicated. It's just, we have systems, we have training. So we have people now, we have the most unbelievable compensation plan in the world. We've got influencers coming over from Instagram, and they don't want to build a team like, started 14 years ago. Just getting customers, just going on Instagram and sharing collagen, sharing the skincare, the Nerf 2, the whatever. They're making a lot of money. So you can do it any way you want. Now, I love Warren Buffett. Like he says, to make money, if that's also one of your goals, is to make some money, you've got to position yourself in front of momentum. You can't get in at market saturation, when everyone's heard of this. But almost nobody's heard of this. Almost nobody. We have 80,000 distributors in the entire world. And who is our market share? Anyone who breathes air. Anyone who breathes air has oxidative stress, and mammals too. So, I'm a visual learner. I think about things like the Super Bowl, a stadium of 85,000 people. And if you interviewed everybody in there and asked them, have you heard of Life Vantage? Have you heard of NRF2 activation, Nerf 1, activated collagen, oxidative stress? I bet it's less than 8 to 10,000 people that have heard of any of this. So there's massive opportunity. Another reason that I know, so this is the future of wellness, but you know what? It's also the future of pharmaceuticals. Every major pharmaceutical has patents and is developing or has developed drugs that use the NRF2 pathway. And Tecfidera is a drug that Biogenetic made for multiple sclerosis, for MS. And they spent a couple $1 million to do a study against their Sherman tank drug with horrific side effects. It's a biologic, beats up your white blood cells. I'm technical like Dr. Wally here, giving you the medical version. Um, and and then our little natural product, which you can get for roughly $50 a month on a subscription, or as a, yeah, subscription. And they realized that, and there's, at the time, theirs was $50,000. I looked it up today. It's now generic, and it's $3,000 a month. So it's $36,000 a year. And ours is about $550 a year. No side effects. Ours is like a salad pill, more or less, but it creates a synergy that we didn't talk about. Anyway, if Big Pharma's on the Nerf 2 bandwagon with synthetics, it's, you know, it's the future. So you can get involved as a customer, get back with whoever invited you. You can enroll with, we have all kinds of options, custom options, options that you can try everything. Because if you do want to do the business, like Dr. Wally, you know, you have to be a product of the products. And like Dr. Wally, like, I mean, when you become passionate about this, which obviously I have, it really doesn't feel like work or selling. I just invite people to learn. I'm not attached to what people decide to do with the information. I feel in an obligation to share this with people because I've seen over the last 14 years, I've seen some unbelievable things happen. And so it's just my job to invite you to learn. And this may or may not be for you, that you may or may not want to add the products into your health regimen, although Dr. Wally and Mary and I would highly encourage that. And you may or may not want to do the business. It's not, you know, it's up to you. You can get more information. I'm working on getting my free Jeep from LifeVantage, and there's incredible travel. But what's really important to me too is this company is about giving back. And every single time we have a conference, we are doing something locally to leave the place better than we found it. And we've been involved in Operation Smile. A bunch of the executives qualified for a trip of a lifetime a few months ago to South Africa, and they were in schools, and they were doing things to help. I can't remember exactly what they did. I didn't qualify for that trip. I needed to get off my lazy butt. No. Anyway, so I just want to thank you guys. You know, this is going to happen with or without any of us. Why not us? So get with the person that invited you. Let them know if you have questions, if you'd like to get started as a customer or consultant. And we thank you so much for joining us tonight, and especially to our two guests, Mary and Dr. Wally. That was incredible.